Hi, you're watching Dog-Eared Musings, and I'm Monika, and today I'm doing the book tag, Judging Books by Their Cover, because I was tagged by 4 people to do this tag, so I figured it was long overdue. I'll leave their channel names in the space below, but the really awesome booktubers who tagged me were Pato, 2 Cats, Cat of Cat's Field Notes, and Lit with Cat, I believe. And then Dina also tagged me. So I figured I should get on it and let's start judging some books. So the first question of the tag is judging your book with the prettiest color combination. So my first book for the prompt is The Many Deaths of Lila Starr, which is written by Ramvi and illustrated by Felipe Andrade. And so as you can see, the color palette of this book, of the cover, as well as like just the interior spreads, are just gorgeous. It's like kind of sunset themed, which I believe is kind of to depict the idea of mortality, which is a huge theme throughout the book. But yeah, if you're interested in color stories and beautiful, gorgeous illustrations, highly recommend that you pick that book up. The next question is pick a book with the prettiest typography. So we got some old vintage covers, The Stranger by Albert Camus, and The Great Gatsby by F. Scott. And I just feel like vintage covers have the best font. I mean, just looking at The Stranger, this font is so lovely. And also these are copies from my father that I stole from his bookshelf, so they are also sentimental too. Pick the best cover with the simplest design. So that has to go to Gitanjali Shree's Tomb of Sand. Now, the camera might not pick it up, but it's got like this really big tree and this kind of voyeuristic view that you're looking at your neighbor's house. There's a car and there's a laundry line. It kind of has that feel that you're looking in on your neighbor. And I think that kind of neighborhood feel of a community story is a thorough line of Shree's book in this very big family story that's kind of told like someone would tell a friend. Prettiest End Pages. So there's a Ghost in the House by Oliver Jeffers, which is a really awesome children's book, which is all about this child who is like, can you help me find the ghost that's in this house? It's kind of creepy, but it's really cute. And the end pages have these really charming drawings of ghosts that are illustrated by Oliver Jeffers. He's just a really awesome illustrator. Check that book out. The book with maps. So this was a tough question because I don't really read a lot of books that have maps in them. They're definitely more skewed towards fantasy and high fantasy. But one book in my collection that has a map, that is a book that I love, is the YA novel by Veera Hirnandani, The Night Diary. Now, why a map plays such an important role in this book is this is the story of a young girl whose parents, one of them is Hindu and one of them is Muslim. And this takes place during partition. So when Pakistan became Pakistan and India became India, the division between the two countries. So this was a very traumatic moment in history, and this book kind of delves into one child's perspective and how this land division really ended up dividing a family and kind of a cultural introspection of that. And it's done in a way that is really sensitive to young audiences, while also kind of talking about a really important and pivotal moment. So this boundary and this division is like the main part, or one of the main parts of the story, and so having that map is a very important visual clue into how that affects our characters and their storyline. Pick the best naked cover. So I've got 2 books for these. These are books that I picked up when I was super into, or I guess I still am, into clothes and fashion. This was when I was in high school. I picked up this book. This is Parisian Chic by Inès de la Fressange. It was when, right before I went on a trip to France, and I really wanted to know what the style guides were there. There's a lot of really fun information on shops that may or may not exist there. Some of the style rules might be old, but I know some never really go out of style. But this is just a really fun book to look back onto and kind of remember that trip. And then this book is Women in Clothes, and you'll notice there's a bunch of really awesome authors in here. Sheila Heti, Haida Druvalatis, I think. There's some really famous authors in here that kind of talk about their relationship with clothes and how clothing kind of extends into persona, whether it's costuming or actual like clothes cover. This one was really tough. I just really enjoyed the color combinations of variations of the body, which if you're looking for a collection of political horror that's set in Colombia, this is a really fun little collection of short stories that really packs a punch. Chapter headers. So I've got In the House in the Dark of the Woods by Laird Hunt, which is another really short novel that is really scary, and it's really fun to read in October. But you'll notice that the chapter headings, if you look close enough, you can't really tell with this one, but they're all graveyard etchings, like they're etchings of gravestones, which is just really creepy. This book is kind of fever dream-esque. It's set during colonial America, so it's really fun and it's really creepy. Book with the best spine. So, I mean, Sabrina and Corina just has a stunning front cover altogether, but I also really love the spine because it has this cute little heart. I'm not sure if it's anatomically correct, but I think it is. But I also didn't go to med school, so I don't know. I just got one more question and then I'll be done. So that is the cover with the best drawing. And that goes to this edition of Mariana Enriquez's The Danger of Smoking in Bed, which, like, just look at that cover. It's disgusting, but also just, like, I can't look away. And it's one of my favorite books that I have on my shelf. And then Y/N by Esther Yi. And I've already waxed poetic about this cover in my book review that I did a couple weeks ago, so I won't go on and on and on about that to save me from being mad at myself when I edit this video later. But this cover and this illustration, I definitely did a cover buy when I bought this book. Those are some of my favorite covers in my library. I don't have too many books, but these were fun to kind of go through the prompts and kind of judge them based on the prompts. So if you are interested in doing that, see yourself as tagged. I know that this tag has been going on for a while, so you might already be tagged in this, but I'll tag some people in the box below too. So feel free to do the tag, but no pressure. This has been this week's of Dog-Eared Musings. I'm Monika. Happy reading.